Randall Hughes with GodGlorified.com, and we're reading from the Reese Chronological Bible for our May 24th Bible reading. And we will begin at verse 25 of chapter 27 of 1 Chronicles. Didn't quite make it through the chapter. It ends in verse 34. And here it reads, "And over the king's treasure was Azamaveth, the son of Adiel, and over the storehouses in the field and in the cities and in the villages and in the castles was Jehonathan, the son of Uzziah. And over them that did the work of the field for tillage of the ground was Ezrai, the son of Chelub. And over the vineyards was Shimei the Ramathite. Over the increase of the vineyards for the wine cellars was Zabdi the Shiphmite. And over the olive trees and the sycamore trees that were in the low plains was Belhanan the Gederite. And over the cellars of oil was Joash. And over the herds that fed in Sharon was Shitrai the Sharonite. And over the herds that were in the valleys was Shaphath the son of Adlai. Over the camels also was Obal the Ishmaelite, and over the donkeys was Jediah the Meronothite, and over the flocks was Jazir the Hagarite. All these were the rulers of the substance which was King David's. And Jonathan, David's uncle, was a counselor, a wise man and a scribe, and Jehiel, the son of Hachmoni, was with the king's sons, and Ahithophel was the king's counselor, and Hushai the Archite was the king's companion. And after Ahithophel was Jehoiada, the son of Benaiah, and Abiathar, and the general of the king's army was Joab." And now 1 Chronicles 28. "And David assembled all the princes of Israel, the princes of the tribes, and the captains of the companies that ministered to the king by course, and the captains over the thousands, and the captains over the hundreds, and the stewards over all the substance and possessions of the king, and of his sons, and of the officers, and with the mighty men, and with all the valiant men unto Jerusalem." Now 1 Chronicles chapter 23, verse 1. "So when David was old and full of days, he made Solomon his son king over Israel." Now back to chapter 28, verse 2. 1 Chronicles. "Then David the king stood up upon his feet and said, Hear me, my brethren and my people. As for me, I had it in mine heart to build an house of rest for the ark of the covenant of Yahweh and for the footstool of our God, and had made ready for the building. But God said unto me, Thou shalt not build an house for my name, because thou hast been a man of war, and hast shed blood. Howbeit, Yahweh God of Israel chose me before all the house of my father to be king over Israel forever. For he had chosen Judah to be the ruler, and of the house of Judah, the sons of my father, and Judah, the house of my father, and among the sons of my father, he liked me to make me king over all Israel. And of all my sons, for Yahweh hath given me many sons, he hath chosen Solomon my son to sit upon the throne of the kingdom of Yahweh over Israel. And he said unto me, Solomon thy son, he shall build mine house and my courts, for I have chosen him to be my son, and I will be his father. Moreover, I will establish his kingdom forever, if he be constant in my commandments and my judgments as at this day. Now therefore, in the sight of all Israel, the congregation of Yahweh, and in the audience of our God, keep and seek for all the commandments of Yahweh your God, and ye may possess this good land, and leave it for an inheritance for your children after you forever. And thou, Solomon my son, know thou the God of thy father, and serve him with a perfect heart and with a willing mind. For Yahweh searcheth all hearts, and understandeth all the imaginations of the thoughts. If thou seek him, he will be found of thee. But if thou forsake him, he will cast thee off forever. Take heed now, for Yahweh hath chosen thee to build an house for the sanctuary. Be strong and do it." And now Psalm 145. I will extol thee, my God, O King, and I will bless thy name forever and ever. Every day will I bless thee, and I will praise thy name forever and ever. Great is Yahweh, and greatly to be praised, and his greatness is unsearchable. One generation shall praise thy works to another, and shall declare thy mighty acts. I will speak of the glorious honor of thy majesty, and of the wondrous works. And men shall speak of the might of thy terrible acts, and I will declare thy greatness. They shall abundantly utter the memory of thy great goodness, and shall sing of thy righteousness. Yahweh is gracious and full of compassion, slow to anger and of great mercy. Yahweh is good to all, and his tender mercies are over all his works. All thy works shall praise thee, O Yahweh, and thy saints shall bless thee. They shall speak of the glory of thy kingdom, and talk of thy power, to make known to the sons of men his mighty acts, and the glorious majesty of his kingdom. Thy kingdom is an everlasting kingdom, and thy dominion endureth throughout all generations. Yahweh upholdeth all that fall, and raiseth up all those that be bowed down. The eyes of all wait upon thee, and thou givest them their meat in due season. Thou openest thy hand, and satisfiest the desire of every living thing. Yahweh is righteous in all his ways, and holy in all his works. Yahweh is nigh unto all them that call upon him, to all that call upon him in truth. He will fulfill the desire of them that fear him. He also will hear their cry, and will save them. Yahweh preserveth all them that love him, but all the wicked will he destroy. My mouth shall speak the praise of Yahweh, and let all flesh bless his holy name forever and ever. Returning to 1 Chronicles chapter 28 at verse 11. Then David gave to Solomon his son the pattern of the porch, and of the houses thereof, and of the treasuries thereof, and of the upper chambers thereof, and of the inner parlors thereof, and of the place of the mercy seat, and the pattern of all that he had by the Spirit of the court of the house of Yahweh, and of all the chambers round about of the treasuries of the house of God, and of the treasuries of the dedicated things. Also for the courses of the priests and the Levites, and for all the work of the service of the house of Yahweh, and for all the vessels of service in the house of Yahweh. He gave of gold by weight for things of gold, for all instruments of all manner of service, silver also for all instruments of silver by weight, for all instruments of every kind of service, even the weight for the candlesticks of gold, and for their lamps of gold by weight, and every candlestick, and for the lamp thereof, and for the candlesticks of silver by weight, both for the candlestick and also the lamp thereof, according to the use of every candlestick. And by weight he gave gold for the tables of showbread, for every table, and likewise silver for the tables of silver. Also pure gold for the flesh hooks, and for the bowls and the cups, and for the golden basins. He gave gold by weight for every basin, and likewise silver by weight for every basin of silver. And for the altar of incense, refined gold by weight, and gold for the pattern of the chariot of the cherubims, that spreadeth out their wings, and covered the ark of the covenant of Yahweh. All this, said David, Yahweh made me understand in writing by his hand upon me, even all the works of this pattern. And David said to Solomon his son, Be strong and of good courage, and do it. Fear not, nor be dismayed. For Yahweh God, even my God, will be with thee. He will not fail thee, nor forsake thee, until thou hast finished all the work for the service of the house of Yahweh. And behold, the courses of the priests and the Levites, even they shall be with thee for all the service of the house of God. And there shall be with thee for all manner of workmanship, every willing, skillful man. For any manner of service also the princes and all the people will be holy at thy commandment. Psalm 104. Bless Yahweh, O my soul. O Yahweh my God, thou art very great. Thou art clothed with honor and majesty, who coverest thyself with light as with a garment, who stretcheth out the heavens like a curtain, who layeth the beams of his chambers in the waters, who maketh the clouds his chariot, who walketh upon the wings of the wind, who maketh his angels spirits, his ministers a flaming fire, who laid the foundations of the earth that it should not be removed forever. Thou coverest it with the deep as with a garment. The waters stood above the mountains. At thy rebuke they fled. At the voice of thy thunder they haste away. They go up by the mountains, they go down by the valley, unto the place which thou hast founded for them. Thou hast set a bound over, that they may not pass over, that they turn not again to cover the earth. He sendeth the springs into the valleys which run among the hills. They give drink to every beast of the field. The wild donkeys quench their thirst. By them shall the fowls of the heaven have their habitation, which sing among the branches. He watereth the hills from his chambers. The earth is satisfied with the fruit of thy works. He causeth the grass to grow for the cattle, and herbs for the service of man, that he may bring forth food out of the earth, and wine that maketh glad the heart of man, and of oil to make his face to shine, and bread which strengtheneth man's heart. The trees of the Yahweh are full of sap, and the cedars of Lebanon, which he hath planted. Where the birds make their nest, as for the stork, the fir trees are her house. The high hills are a refuge for the wild goats, and the rocks for the conies. He appointed the moon for seasons, the sun knoweth his going down. Thou makest darkness and its night, wherein all the beasts of the forest do creep forth. The young lions roar after their prey, and seek their meat from God. The sun ariseth, they gather themselves together, and lay themselves down in their dens. Man goeth forth unto his work, and to his labor, until the evening. O Yahweh, how manifold are thy works! In wisdom hast thou made them all. The earth is full of thy richness. So is thy great and wide sea, wherein are things creeping innumerable, both small and great beast. There go the ships. There is that Leviathan, whom thou hast made to play therein. These wait all upon thee, that thou mayest give them their meat in due season, that thou givest them thy gather. Thou openest thine hand, they are filled with good. Thou hidest thy face, they are troubled. Thou takest away their breath, they die, and return to the dust. Thou sendest forth thy spirit, they are created, and thou renewest the face of the earth. The glory of Yahweh shall endure forever. Yahweh shall rejoice in his works. He looked on the earth, and it trembled. He touched the hills, and they smoke. I will sing unto Yahweh as long as I live. I will sing praise to my God while I have my being. My meditation of him shall be sweet. I will be glad in Yahweh. Let the sinners be consumed out of the earth, and let the wicked be no more. Bless thou Yahweh, O my soul. Praise ye Yahweh. And that's going to conclude our reading for May the 24th. God bless you.